Wednesday, November 28th. This is Wayne Goldsboro TV, WGTV Today. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Betts. Good Wednesday morning.
And good Wednesday morning it is. Oh boy, the 28th of November, just a couple of days left in the whole month.
It has just whoosh.
It what?
It went whoosh.
Well, that's
flew
pretty good.
by.
They flew by.
You like that?
I like anything that flew by, yeah. That's good. I like it. That was good. Did you practice for that?
Hours.
All right, it's the 28th. What a great program we have for you today. All lined up. We're going to hear from a couple of gentlemen.
We are.
From Cherry Hospital. The CEO, Luckey Welsh, who's going to be with us, along with Dr. Steve Peters. And I've known Steve Peters for many years. He's just a great guy, and we're very fortunate to have Luckey Welsh come in, the CEO from Cherry. He's relatively new. He's almost new to the area, but we want to welcome him to the Wayne County area because he's a great guy as well. Big things happening for Cherry Hospital. Got that big new hospital.
That's what I hear. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
We need to go do a tour.
It's gorgeous out there, and they're going to tell you about the tour and the grand opening that's going to be coming up here pretty soon.
And then, Wayne, you and I went out to Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, and we were a part of the kickoff for American Red Cross for their Mail for Heroes.
That was so exciting.
Wasn't it nice?
That was exciting. That was very nice.
It really was. You know, you can hear all about it, and you can still be a part of it yourself.
Yeah.
That was just the kickoff. It'll be happening all the way through, I think, mid-December is when they'll start mailing out all these cards. You'll just stay tuned. You'll hear what all we did and what we're talking about.
Yeah, and if you have any questions after the program, you could talk to Chuck Waller.
That's right.
With the Red Cross
the Wayne
office.
County chapter.
Yeah. All right.
All right, let's see what's going on in our community, Wayne.
I'm glad you asked. Also, in the next segment, not this segment, in the next segment, we're going to talk about Christmas trees.
That's right.
Some
tips.
Yeah, some tips about how to look for them, how to find them. Of course, now a real expert, that would be Jessica Strickland, will be in a couple of weeks to tell us more about that. But we'll touch on a few things for Christmas trees for you.
Just some tips for buying good, healthy Christmas trees. Here we go.
And speaking of tips, here's a tip for you from the health department.
Okay.
Managing stress, the holidays don't need to take a toll on your health. Keep a check on overcommitment and overspending. You know, this time of year especially, it's easy to overcommit.
It is.
It's so easy. Well, you got to go here, and you got to buy this, and you got to go over there, and you got to get that, and then you have to cook
promise to volunteer here.
Yeah. So check, stop and think before you commit yourself to so many things, and before you overspend. It's easy to do. You should balance your work, balance home, and balance your play. Get support from family and friends. Keep a relaxed and positive outlook, and make sure you get enough sleep, especially if you're traveling.
That's right. You know, having a good balance is a good piece of advice and good dose of medicine, because honestly, if you don't do enough, you're at home and you can get sad or you can get bored. But if you do too much, you never enjoy your family and your friends, and the holidays are over and you look back and with regret.
Yeah.
So try to find a way to, we're talking to ourselves as well, try to find a way to have some balance with all these holidays.
You really should.
This
is not the time of year to have any regrets.
No.
You shouldn't have any regrets.
Nope.
So plan your day. When you get up in the morning, just say, look, here's what I'm going to do today, and try to stick to that.
That's right. Good piece of advice, Wayne.
Hi. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, speaking about things happening in the holidays,
what you got
let me tell you a quick little story. Do you hang, or as a child, did you hang stockings in your house?
Well,
during the Christmas holidays?
Stockings. I never really had stockings.
You didn't have a stocking?
Oh, you mean like on the fireplace and stuff? Oh, that kind of stocking.
That
Sure,
kind of stocking.
sure.
Yeah, not pantyhose stocking.
No, it's not. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Well, right. No, I didn't hang.
But a lot of people
Yeah,
do.
I did.
A lot
I did
of
hang
youth
stockings.
do that. Okay, good.
Yeah,
do you
it was
know
fun.
why you did that?
Have no idea.
What was the story behind that?
My mother told me to.
Exactly, and that's why many of us do it, because it's just a tradition.
That's it.
Well, let me tell you a belief or a legend of why we think that all began. It's very interesting.
Okay, go ahead.
Legend has it that St. Nicholas loved to give gifts. To prevent people from learning where these gifts came from, he would leave them at night and surprise people.
Oh.
Others say that the reason he would leave gifts at night is because he was very shy and wanted to give money to poor people without them knowing where it came from. The reason we use Christmas stockings is up next. Let's see, hold on tight. One well-kept legend tells us...
I thought it ended there. Oh my goodness. I didn't want to wait.
Hold on tight. One well-kept legend is, kindly nobleman whose wife had died of his illness left the nobleman and his 3 daughters in despair. Okay, so the family was in despair. After losing all his money in useless and bad inventions, the family had to move into a peasant cottage where the daughters did their own cooking and sewing and cleaning. When it came time for the daughters to marry, the father got a little more depressed because he knew his daughters couldn't marry. Because at this time, a woman couldn't marry unless she had a dowry, which was money and property that could be given to the new husband's family. One night after the daughters had washed out their clothing, they hung their stockings over the fireplace to dry. That night, St. Nicholas, knowing the despair of the family, stopped by the nobleman's house. He looked in the window, and when he looked in the window, he saw the family had gone to bed. He also noticed the daughter's stocking hanging over by the fireplace.
Oh, wow.
Well, inspiration struck
St.
St. Nicholas, and he took out 3 small bags of gold coins from his pouch. He threw them one by one down the chimney. Well, they landed in the stockings. The next morning, when the daughters awoke, they found their stockings contained enough gold for them to get married. The nobleman was able to see his 3 daughters marry. He lived a long, happy life, and word quickly spread of this good fortune. And soon, of course, other people throughout the village started hanging their stockings by the fireplace in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be by to leave treasures in their stockings. And from this was born the legend of the St. Nicholas coming down the chimney and placing gifts in the Christmas stockings.
What a great story.
Isn't that great? So that's the legend of how stockings began.
Wow.
How neat.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
That's neat.
I thought it was too.
All right.
All right, Wayne, what else do we have today?
Okie dokie. Well, we're going to talk about trees here in a few minutes.
Yep.
I want to mention the County Commissioners meeting coming up December 4th, and I think the City Council has a meeting that week as well.
We do.
All of the commissioners will be sworn in. The new commissioners, all of them, however, will be sworn in on Tuesday, December 4th. That will be those 3 new commissioners we have and the incumbents as well. That will be in courtroom number 1 this time. It will not be in the commission chambers, the historic courtroom number 1. 3 of the commissioners are new to the board. The public is invited to attend. Come and enjoy the ceremony of, the ceremony will be videotaped. We'll be there videotaping. So if you miss it, you can also watch it on television as well. That will be coming up December 4th. The meeting begins at 9 a.m. in historic courtroom number 1.
Very good. Well, Wayne, let's talk to the 2 men that you interviewed recently from Cherry Hospital.
Indeed. I was so excited to have Mr. Luckey Welsh, the new CEO of Cherry Hospital, and Dr. Steve Peters come by the studio and spoke with us the other day, and here's what they had to say here on WGTV today. Today in the studio, we're very pleased to have, first of all, Dr. Stephen Peters and Luckey Welsh, and is Mr. Welsh, correct, or is it Doctor?
No, it's Mr.
Mr. Welsh, and these gentlemen, if you don't know the names, you certainly should. They are with Cherry Hospital, and gentlemen, first of all, thank you very much for being with us this morning.
It's our pleasure, thank you.
Thank you very much. If I may start with Luckey, you are relatively new to the Cherry Hospital staff, as you are the CEO.
That is correct.
You are the man.
Well, I don't know that. I've got a great staff. How's that?
All right. I do, and I want to talk to you about your staff a little later on. But tell us about you. How did you happen to end up here in Goldsboro as the CEO of Cherry Hospital? What's your background?
Well, my background is in healthcare. For many years, interesting, I was trained as a pharmacist and practiced pharmacy for many years, and entered into the field of hospital administration some 35, 40 years ago. And retired from the CEO of Southeastern Regional Medical Center down in Lumberton, North Carolina.
Right.
Following retirement, I came up to work with the state of North Carolina as the division director for the state-operated healthcare facilities in the state, which is comprised of 3 different psychiatric hospitals throughout the state, one in Butner, North Carolina, one in Morganton, and certainly here at Cherry Hospital. And we also have 3 neuromedical treatment centers. Oberry is one of them right here in Goldsboro. 3 developmental centers, as well as 3 alcohol drug abuse treatment centers. So my role has been for the last 3 years to be over all of these facilities and working with them towards quality improvement and safety and financial accountability. And so we've been doing that, and more recently times as we were looking at Cherry Hospital, and it was getting close to the time that it was going to be moving into a brand new facility. The secretary and the governor agreed that I would come here to be the CEO of the hospital.
Wow. Wow. Steve, that's great. Tell us about Stephen Peters.
Well, I came to Goldsboro 7 years ago from Chicago, and have enjoyed every minute of it.
I'm glad you got away from Chicago.
Yeah, I am very happy about that. Sold the snow blowers, sold the snow shovels.
Did you? Got out of that, huh?
Entirely.
That's good. And what do you do at Cherry?
I'm Director of Psychology.
Director of Psychology.
Yes, sir.
And for those, and I'm sure unless someone's new to the area or perhaps they've lived in the cave the last 20, 30 years or longer, Cherry Hospital is a psychiatric hospital. Give us a little background, if you would, on Cherry.
You know, Cherry Hospital was founded really back in 1890.
Wow, been with us a while.
It's 133 years old now, will be.
Yeah.
It was first, its history was to be the insane asylum, as they called them back in those days, for the African American population in this state, and so it was a statewide facility. And then in 1965 it was changed to be certainly to serve all the people, not just one ethnic race. So it is now open and serves as one of the 3 psychiatric hospitals in the state. As you think about, Cherry Hospital serves 38 counties in eastern North Carolina. It serves the population, about 2.5 million people live in eastern North Carolina. Cherry Hospital serves as the safety net for those patients with mental illness whose needs really cannot be met in the community. We are the safety net. We are there for those individuals from eastern North Carolina who need the services of psychology and psychiatry, like Dr. Peters here, and it serves that important role for that. There are many psychiatric beds in eastern North Carolina, but we are the ones who take care of those, again, as I say, whose needs cannot be met in the community. So we're very proud of what we do and the necessary service it does for the people here.
Dr. Peters, generally across the nation, we hear more and more about problems with people, psychiatric problems, psychological problems. What is the trend now? Is there a trend? Can we put our finger on it? Is there a problem? Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? What's going on?
We're certainly identifying, evaluating, identifying, and getting folks into better treatment models. You know, most people with mental illness are out doing what people do. They have families, they work, they may be on some medication, they may get some support services, but most of those folks go out and just do the best they can and have a fairly normal life. It's the most serious, the most complex, the most compromised folks that we take care of at Cherry. Whether there are other trends, you know, certainly the economic pressures put a lot to bear on folks who are otherwise, you know, compromised somewhat anyways. They are our most fragile, vulnerable part of the population.
I would have to feel that most people who are not familiar with a psychiatric or a psychological situation may have the misconception that if someone has a mental condition, that they are immediately on their way to the hospital. That's certainly not the case, is it?
No, it's a very small percentage, in fact, that would ever need any hospital. It's that more moderate, a little more severe, that would even come into a community hospital, and that's probably for a very brief period of time. And again, the most complex, the most serious would then come to a place like Cherry Hospital.
And then what happens? Are they in the hospital permanently? Are they in there for a short amount of time, a long amount of time, or what?
We have there's a wide range, again, depending on circumstances, depending on the clinical condition. Some folks come in and out. I think our average length of stay now for adult admissions is about 20 days.
20 days?
You know, on average. You know, there are some folks that come in maybe even more brief, and others that stay, you know, several months. But the vast majority of people come in, get stabilized, and leave, and doing remarkably better.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Mr. Welsh, in your time here and in the industry, what would you say is the most common misconception, say with Cherry Hospital? What do people not understand about the hospital?
You know, Cherry Hospital serves such an important role, and many times people do not really understand what we do and the wonderful work that happens at Cherry Hospital with the physicians like Dr. Jim Mayo, who is our clinical director, and Dr. Steve Peters, our director of psychology, and the staffs we put around them. We're able to sort of mend and heal lives and take them back to the community. That's our goal at Cherry, is to get them to recover back to the community. But there is an increased demand for psychiatric care in this nation. Certainly at the community hospitals. I know you've heard, or if you've not, a lot of patients end up in our hospital emergency departments throughout North Carolina. And the need is so great, and we don't have enough beds in this state that need inpatient care. So patients wait in the emergency departments waiting for admission. Now, most of the people who present themselves to the emergency departments in the state are cared for at home, sent home, cared for by providers there, or admitted to the hospitals there. But when they cannot meet the need is when Cherry is here for them.
And when that happens, Steve, you say an average of about 20 days, and with the most, let's say the extreme cases, they're much longer. The staff at Cherry is an amazing staff. It takes a special person to be on the staff at Cherry Hospital. How does the staff relate to the more extreme patients? Is there special training, special care? How does the staff handle
all of the above?
Extreme cases.
What we have developed now at Cherry is a very active model. We have an active, what we call a treatment mall, where folks get up, move to the treatment mall. That's kind of where they spend their day. And they have group therapy, various activities, different kinds of engagements to be around and relate with people. You know, I think of just for even the more milder types of emotional problems, sometimes the solution is being with people. It's being with people, relate to people, share with people. So that's what we want staff to be able to do at Cherry, is to engage with patients, participate in their lives, get to know them as people, not just psychiatrically ill, but get to know them as people and share and relate, and that's a pretty powerful healing tool right there.
Yes. Mr. Welsh, recently, in the last year or two, Dorothea Dix has been closed. Will that have an effect on Cherry Hospital at all?
It has already had an effect on Cherry. As we were downsizing Dorothea Dix Hospital, and again, the decision was made many years ago by the legislature to build a brand new hospital in Butner, North Carolina, and to merge the John Umstead Hospital and the Dorothea Dix into one facility in Butner. And so it's been a process of moving patients to the Butner site. Some of the patients from Dorothea Dix actually came here to Cherry. One nursing unit, about 24, 25 patients, actually came from Dorothea Dix here to Cherry, and the rest went over to Butner. So we have, in the past several months, moved the final patients from Dorothea Dix Hospital. It is no longer a hospital, and so we, instead of having 4 psychiatric hospitals in the state, we have 3. But I would like to point out that we have not decreased the number of beds. We just moved them into a bigger facility and actually used space here at Cherry. So we've not decreased the availability of beds, we just relocated them.
Very good. Now, Dr. Peters, there is a new construction site near Cherry Hospital.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys have anything at all to do with that?
Oh, it's been a very active process. For the last several years, in fact. I remember looking at some early design blueprints and looking at kind of where would be the best configuration, what would be the best configuration for that hospital, in fact. And now we're to the point of talking about medical equipment and other services in terms of how that would actually go into the new facility. A lot of technology. Some of the technology that was in the early design is now obsolete. It's now there's newer, better, even cheaper technology that's going into the new hospital. So we're really excited about that.
That's wonderful. And will it be a larger facility, accepting a larger number of patients?
Yeah, I think we're going to be able to provide up to 320 beds.
Wow.
And of course that's contingent on having medical staff, nursing staff, psychology, social work, etc., to provide those services for that many people. But if we can recruit, locate, and have that many people, staff-wise, we'll be able to serve more patients.
Mr. Welsh, how large is the staff at Cherry?
We currently have 1,000 employees at Cherry Hospital.
1,000 people? 1,000 employees at Cherry Hospital.
And the interesting thing, Wayne, is that the North Carolina legislature this past session, as we occupy the new Cherry Hospital, gave us funding so we could fully occupy it. Today, we only have staffing for about 180, 190 patients. But as we move into the new building, they've appropriated the funds to add 373 new positions here at Cherry.
Wonderful.
A third of our workforce will be increased. We'll be reaching out to find psychiatrists and psychologists and social workers and nurses and healthcare technicians and pharmacists and IT people, because Cherry is really growing into a real regional big psychiatric hospital. And we're excited about that. The legislature appropriated over some $13 million for this staff. So that's going to be an economic boost here into the Cherry area as we bring that many new people in. We'll be recruiting for these physicians and professionals throughout the nation to come here to Goldsboro to provide care to Eastern North Carolina. And we're really excited about this. This is a beautiful building with a great staff.
It is. That is very exciting. Pardon me. That is certainly a boon to the area, not only to the Goldsboro-Wayne County area, but to Eastern North Carolina.
Absolutely.
That's really wonderful. So what is the timeline on the new hospital?
Well, the 410,000 square foot building that will be completed.
That is a big building.
It's large.
Can you land a plane in there? It seems
it's
like
9 acres under roof.
Wow.
It's huge.
That's enormous.
When you think about 9 acres under roof there.
That's big.
But it is scheduled to be completed in mid-April to the end of April, as far as the construction site people turning over the keys to the hospital, to us. And then we'll begin our process of move, and that'll take us, a couple months to 3 months. So I think we'll be relocating and being our new facility, I would just say this summer. I don't want to put a month on it, but this summer we should be in this beautiful new facility. And I do hope that the people of Goldsboro, when we do have the ribbon cutting, they come out, that they'll come see what a jewel this is for Wayne County.
And Dr. Peters, when do you start looking for new personnel?
Always. Always. I have been already.
Have you really?
Always looking.
The word is out.
It is out.
All right.
Indeed.
Well, if someone, I hadn't intended on asking this, but if someone locally wants to, how would someone locally find a position?
Sure.
Perhaps they'd be interested in.
The easiest thing to do is get on the computer, look at the Office of State Personnel webpage. It has listings and there are descriptions in terms of what kind of positions and openings we have right now. Come first of the year, come in the springtime, we're going to have the additional 373 positions, and that will really open that up. But we have a human resources department at Cherry as well. Folks can come by there if they're not available to have a computer. They can come by our HR department and have access to that. Folks there can kind of help them to talk to them about possibilities and what the options might be for them.
Wonderful. Gentlemen, we're out of time. Unfortunately, I could go on talking about Cherry Hospital.
So could we.
And I greatly appreciate your coming in today.
Well, Thank
Doc,
you, Wayne.
Dr. Stephen Peters and Mr. Luckey Welsh, CEO of Cherry Hospital. We're very proud of this hospital here, as we should all be proud of the hospital, the Cherry Hospital here in Wayne County. And I hope, gentlemen, you're able to come back soon and
Thank
talk
you,
to us
Wayne.
more about Cherry Hospital.
See you at the open house.
We'll be there.
Okay.
I'm Wayne Alley. And we're back on WGTV today. That was a great discussion. I really enjoyed talking with those two guys.
It was. I can't wait to go on the tour of
Yeah.
the new Cherry Hospital.
Yeah, and we're going to be going on that tour, and I'm excited about
yes.
that. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And I'd like to have Dr. Peters come by on a regular basis, and I'm talking with him. We're trying to work that out on a regular basis to talk about things that we need to be talking about as far as condition, the human condition.
And mental health in
And mental
general.
health in general, yes. All right, and we're going to work that out.
Great.
November 28th
Yes, what's
is
happening?
National Decorate Your Dog Day.
You see that more and more these days, actually.
You do.
Oh, yeah.
You do.
Do you know, I was so surprised at Lights Up Downtown how many people had their dogs and they had them dressed in Christmas attire.
Yeah.
It was hilarious to have so many dogs walking around on leashes, of course. But I saw Santa Claus suits and Jingle Bell hats and all kinds of exciting things.
You call that your Christmas
Attire for animals?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I once went dressed as a tire. Decorate your dog day. Help your doggy get into the holiday spirit.
Yes, indeed.
Oh yes. Today is also Independence Day in Albania and
good
in
to know.
Panama. How about that? Yeah. So happy Independence Day. Also on this day in 1985, just a few years ago, a fellow by the name of Errol Bird of Lisbon, England, excuse me, Lisbon, Northern Ireland, set a world record with 26 hours of continuous yodeling.
And we're so glad.
Yes. Do you yodel?
No, do you?
No, my yodel's broken. I used to until I broke it. Anyway.
It is an art, I will say.
'Tis an art, it is. It is an art. Yodel lady who? Okay, here we
Oh,
go.
my goodness.
Meeting times of the county commissioners and the city council.
Yes.
When's the city council meet?
The first and third Monday of every month.
There you go. There you go. I do want to mention again that all the county commissioners will be sworn in.
Yes.
That will be coming up December 4th at the historic courtroom number 1 in the Wayne County Courthouse. On December 4th, they'll be sworn in, and three of the commissioners are new to the board. The public is invited to the ceremony. It will be videotaped, so if you happen to miss it, then it will be shown on TV. But there's nothing like being there in person, and it'll be in the old courtroom number
right.
1 here in the
And
courthouse.
don't forget, both the city council meetings and the commissioner meetings, if you miss them live, you can see them on both the city and the county's YouTube channel and Vimeo channels. You can go to our websites to access those if you need to see them at a later date.
That's exactly
And we
right.
share them on our Facebook pages as well.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. 1991 was the year. I got to tell you about this. I've got to tell you
All
about
right,
this.
tell me.
This is like somebody winning.
The lottery?
Well,
Not
not
that
quite the
big?
well, yeah, bigger.
Oh,
This is like somebody winning another planet.
Oh, my
You know,
goodness. Well,
well,
tell me.
kind of. Okay, well, a guy in Waco, Texas.
yes.
No,
No?
no, no.
Waco, Texas.
No, it's another day. I'm sorry. This. I got to tell you about that one.
Okay.
All right, that's exciting, but here's a good one right here. Here's a guy who held up a Circle K store, a gas station. He held up a gas station after first diverting the clerk. He laid down a $20 bill and said, "I'd like to get change for that." Well, when the clerk opened the cash drawer, the guy pulled out a gun and said, "Give me all your money." And the clerk did. Put all the money into a bag and then handed it to the guy, and the guy ran away with a total of $15. He left the 20 on the counter.
Okay. He did real well in that
He
one.
did real well on that one. Yeah,
Well, that's what you get.
Today's the birth anniversary of S. Epitha Murkerson, 60 today.
Say her name one more
That's
time.
not her name.
Okay.
That's not her name. She's the lady. She plays the police lieutenant on Law and Order. Or is it
Oh,
Law and
okay.
Order or one of those programs? Anyway, she's 60 today. She does a lot of public service announcements as well. S. Epitha.
Okay.
Her middle, the initial S. Epitha.
Okay.
And I don't think it's Murkerson. It says Murkerson, but it's not. Anyway, she's 60 today. She knows who she is.
Yes, she does. Happy
Also,
birthday.
actor Ed Harris, he's a very talented man. He's 62 today. And in 1991, a fellow in a California turkey carver called Butterball Turkey Talk Line and screamed that there were no breast meat in his Butterball turkey. He said, "I bought this turkey at the grocery store and there's no breast meat in it. What kind of turkey is this anyway?" Well, the lady on the phone, Gene Schnell, suggested he might have the bird upside down.
Oh.
He did.
Oh my goodness.
He was all screaming and panicking and everything. So I hope that didn't happen to you over the holiday
I
season.
hope it did not either. Oh,
all right.
my goodness.
And this guy that it was not Waco, Texas, but this guy, I'll tell you about it in the next day or two.
Okay.
About this guy here. It's a fascinating story.
We'll look forward to it.
It's a surprise.
A surprise story.
It's a good story. Yeah. Anyway, what else is going on?
Oh, don't forget Jingle in the Park's coming up Friday and Saturday night.
Oh, yes,
We'll be there videoing it, so if you miss it, if you can't come live, you can see it later. But it is Jingle in the Park from 4 until 8 p.m. both Friday and Saturday night. And look, they're doing all kinds of exciting things.
Like what?
Well, the Kiwanis train, of course, is always there, but they'll have it fixed up a little differently. This is the Polar Express.
Oh, of course.
It'll look a little different.
Yeah.
You'll feel like you're in North Pole.
Wow.
And you'll be able to make s'mores and roast marshmallows and listen to local entertainment in the gazebo.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, what a good fun night. Arts and crafts, hot chocolate, good fun night. All in the park.
That sounds like so much fun.
When they light it up, it is absolutely beautiful.
Jingle in the Park.
Jingle in the Park, Friday and Saturday night, December 7th and 8th.
You know,
we're lighting up our whole town.
I'm pretty much
making it beautiful.
I'm pretty much a ding-a-ling.
Oh, there you go.
And I can jingle in the park.
Can you jingle in the park?
There you go. All right. And when is that?
That is Friday and Saturday, December 7th and 8th.
Okay, a week from this
4
weekend.
until 8. Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus will be there as well.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, shh.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey.
That's right.
Most Christmas trees are typically fir. A long way. But most Christmas trees are typically fir trees, long needle pines or spruce trees. Knowing which tree will be perfect for your needs can be rather tricky. Some needles dry out faster than others. Hemlock is not a good choice for trees because the needles begin falling off shortly after they're cut, the tree's cut. Spruce needles tend to dry out more quickly than pine. So, keep that in mind. A truly fresh Christmas tree will not only look green and healthy, but it will have very few needles that have started to turn brown. Don't let first glance fool you either. Look at the underside of the branch to see if browning of the needles is beginning. Patting the branches is a way to check to see if any of the needles fall to the ground. You can also grab the branch and gently pull toward you.
That's what I've done.
Right. This is to check to see if any of the needles easily come off the tree, and if so, chances are the tree is not fresh and will not last the holiday season. Another way to check the freshness of your potential Christmas tree is to gently bend the tips. Bend the tips. If the tip does not crack or break, you generally have a fresh tree that may be worth taking home. Don't, of course, break it too much because then they make you pay for it anyway, right?
Whether you wanted that one or not.
That's right. You broke that tree. That'll be $100. Okay? Something else to consider is the aroma of the tree. The stronger the aroma, the fresher the tree. If you have trouble smelling the tree initially, you can stoke the needles and then smell. It's kind of like scratch and sniff for Christmas trees. If you can smell the aroma, chances are the tree is fresh. The Canaan fir, C-A-N-A-A-N, Canaan fir, and the Fraser fir is a good tree with an amazing aroma. And I think those are the trees I like best as well.
Me too.
And there are other tips as well. When you first get it home, if you don't put it into a stand right away, cut the bottom of the tree.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then get it in water.
Exactly, before you get it in water. And then when you do put it in a stand, go ahead and cut it again to open up that bottom of the tree,
right.
the trunk of the tree. All right, so it'll soak up that water.
We want to keep those trees moist and fed.
Yes. Feed your tree.
All holiday season. That's right.
All right. What you got there, girl?
Well, I think we are going to go see what happened at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base.
Oh, we are?
I think we are.
Oh, boy.
Let's go see about the Mail for Heroes.
Good morning. I'm Major Kimberly Lewis, and on behalf of the American Red Cross, the 916th Air Refueling Wing, and the 4th Fighter Wing, we welcome you to this morning's Holiday Mail for Heroes 2012 campaign kickoff event. Today, we invite you to create and sign cards that will be sent in support of members of the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans, and their families. Whether handmade or purchased, simple words of gratitude carry a great deal of meaning for the men and women who serve our country, especially when deployments or hospital stays keep them far from home during the holiday season. Holiday Mail for Heroes is a way for Americans of all ages to send holiday mail to members of the American military from all branches: active duty, Guard and Reserve, retirees, and family members. We are thankful to have with us today members of our community, active duty, the Reserve, and family members. At this time, I would like to invite a few of our special guests and our host to say a few words. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome North Carolina House Representative-elect Mr. Brian Brown.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here today, and for all of you coming out and sharing in this, it must be my pen here, and sharing in this day. I just want to say thank you very much, all of my full gratitude to you and your families for serving our country and making this country such a great place to live. I've been blessed to also have my wife be a board member for the American Red Cross, and to be able to share in what is done here in Eastern North Carolina, not only from the disaster side of helping people that have been affected by natural disasters and things like that, but also what they do for the troops here, servicing 9 branches here in Eastern North Carolina, and doing things like reaching out to 800 different calls for emergency contact here in Eastern North Carolina. What wonderful things and what wonderful blessings we have here in Eastern North Carolina. Thank you again for your service. Thank you for being here today to sign cards for the troops and their families, and God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome North Carolina House Representative-elect Mr. John Bell.
Well, you got the whole gauntlet from Eastern North Carolina here today. That's great. I will start off by saying this. First of all, thank you for everything you do. I'm truly blessed to work for an organization, North Carolina Community Credit Union, that has a branch here on the base. And every other Monday, I get a chance to teach FTAC to every airman that comes on to Seymour Johnson. And so I get a first-hand experience to see how much these airmen mean, not only to the base, but then again to our community. Our livelihood is Seymour Johnson. Our livelihood is the base is Eastern North Carolina. And I know for a fact that you're going to have 2 members elected in the State House that's going to do everything that we can to be sure that our bases remain strong and stay strong here in Eastern North Carolina. You know, I love the jet noise. I love seeing the jets fly over our head because it's the sound of freedom. And I want to thank you for what you do. Because of what you do on a daily basis, it allows us to do what we do. It allows us to go to work. It allows us to represent you in Raleigh and represent you across this country. And thank you very much for what you do. The Red Cross, what an amazing organization. In the middle of the night when the phone calls come because the house is burned down. In the middle of the night when we need to get something to one of our airmen from Seymour Johnson, the Red Cross is always there. They always respond. And most of the time when people are running away, the Red Cross is going in. And I want to thank you for what you do for our community. I want to thank our airmen for what they do for our community, and I look forward to serving you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the City of Goldsboro, Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Chuck Allen.
Good morning. It's kind of hard to follow behind all these state officials, you know, local people, but anyway, that's all right. But on behalf of the mayor, the city council, and all of our citizens, I'm just proud to be here to be able to do this for the mayor. Thank God he's out of town today. And he'd be upset, but I'm a lot quicker than the mayor, so that's a good thing, okay? Anybody can tell him I'm a lot quicker. But we do want to thank you, and this is a great endeavor, and we first off want to recognize and appreciate all our folks that are downrange, or all your folks that are downrange. I know that they're sacrificing, their families are sacrificing. At the holiday time, that comes home a little more, so we want to thank them. I do want to tell you a secret about the Red Cross. I'm very partial to the Red Cross. I was on the board many years ago, actually with John's mom, Cindy. Cindy was the director, and we worked many years to get the Red Cross straight and local and good shape, and then we turned it over to Chuck. He's just expounded. He's done a wonderful job with it. So I do, the Red Cross is very partial to what we do, and we appreciate what they do. And this lastly, I want to remind each of you that we have actually, this is a plug for city now because I am city, John, But actually want to remind you that we need you to shop local as this holiday comes up. It helps local, so if anybody's going to shop, if you can do it locally, that's good. We want to remind you that our Center Street is complete downtown, the first phase. If you haven't seen it, come see it. We are actually having a lights up ceremony on November the 20th, this coming Tuesday at 5 o'clock, and we'd love for you to come see it if you haven't seen it. So we just thank everybody for what you do, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the 4th Fighter Wing, the 4th Operations Group Commander, Colonel Michael Kocheski.
All right, thanks everybody for coming out, and thanks to American Red Cross. When we're out the deployments, I've been many deployments myself. Around the holidays, it's kind of the high-risk time where being away from families, it just makes deployments tougher than they are the rest of the year. So I really appreciate your initiative. Doing the mail, it just goes a long way when you hear from the folks back home, and you know that the country is supporting what our airmen are doing out there. It just really goes a long way to kind of soften the blow of being away over the holidays. So I can't thank you enough for that, and I know on behalf of all the airmen downrange that they will appreciate all the initiatives here today. And also just locally too, just want to thank our Eastern North Carolina local civilians and for taking great care of our base in this area. I was stationed here in the late 90s, and I'm back. This is a schoolhouse for all F-15Es, and so kind of, we have an affinity for this part of the country. So this is kind of home plate for us. And then also enjoy working with our citizen airmen, the 916th and partners. And thanks for hosting this and setting this up.
Thank you, Colonel Kocheski. Now I would like to introduce our host for today's very special event, the Director of Service to Armed Forces American Red Cross Eastern North Carolina Region, Mr. Joshua Kane.
Well, thank you so much for each of you coming out. We've had a great turnout today. Folks have been steadily coming in the door, signing cards, and really it's just an outpouring of support for our troops. To be here on Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, working together with the Air Force, with the 916th, with the 4th. We're so appreciative of the relationship we have and just of the opportunity to serve America's heroes. And that's the way we really view this. This whole event is about Holiday Mail for Heroes, signing cards, sending a note of encouragement and thanks to our heroes. These are going to go to veterans. These are going to go to troops deployed. These are going to go to family members who have loved ones who are deployed and they're not together. So we think about them during this time, and this is our way of saying, we're with you. Things are tough. You have an important mission. The American Red Cross, the people of Eastern North Carolina, the city of Goldsboro, your colleagues in the Air Force, we're here with you. I just want to say thank you so much again to the 916th for co-hosting, to Colonel Gilmore and Kathy. Thank you so much for this tanker in the front. Kathy made that by hand. If you dropped a card there, I think that's one of the coolest things in the world. Brings it right back to what we're doing. So thank you for all of your work. I need to take a moment and thank the Red Cross volunteers who have worked so hard. Margaret and Norm Tafflinger are our lead volunteers. They represent the American Red Cross on Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, and we could not fulfill our mission to serve the airmen on this base if it was not for them. So we thank you so much. Again, thank you to the Wayne County chapter. This is a kickoff for the entire 33 counties of Eastern North Carolina, 9 chapters in Eastern North Carolina. We are kicking off our Holiday Mail for Heroes program right here at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in Goldsboro in Wayne County. So our thanks to Chuck and the Wayne County chapter for hosting this. Again, please sign a card if you haven't done so already. These events will be going on in your community, wherever you might have come here from. These events will be going on over the next couple days, and they have been going on. I will say this about Chuck's efforts so far. He brought in the door this morning 1,500 cards that have been signed by the Goldsboro community. So we're so happy. It's a great tally to get things rolling. So again, thank you so much on behalf of the American Red Cross for all that you do for America, for the people of Eastern North Carolina. American Red Cross is here for you and your family, and this is just a great way for us to partner. So again, thank you so much for all you do, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 916th Air Refueling Wing, Colonel Gregory Gilmore.
Thank you. It's truly a pleasure and an honor to co-host this, partner with the Red Cross in the local community. Like Coach said, being deployed, away from home on the holidays, it is really great to get something in the mail. Even in this day of emails and things like that, it really means a lot to, go to the mail room and actually pick something up. And this is going to do great. I hope the troops send something back. I know we did overseas, and it was always good to reciprocate that. It shows that the effort that you guys are putting together to get this done. We truly do appreciate that. So thank you very much. Keep signing away, folks. We got a lot of cards.
Thank you, Colonel Gilmore. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the formal events program. Please continue to join us making and signing cards for the extraordinary men and women around the world serving in the armed forces. Thank you for coming today.
Here today at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base with Colonel Gilmore. Colonel, thank you for speaking with us. Tell me about you here at Seymour Johnson. How long have you been here at Seymour Johnson?
A little over 2 months.
2 months?
Yes.
And you came here from where?
I came from Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma City.
And what is your background?
Very. I'm an Army brat. I spent 13 years in the Navy. And I spent 13 and a half years in the Air Force Reserve. So
wow, well, you've been all over the place there.
I have.
You have quite a, and you're right, that is a varied background. You're the commander of the 916th.
Yes.
Tell us about the 916th. What do you guys do?
We refuel.
Refuel.
Anybody, any place.
Anybody, any place.
Allies or other sister services, our own Air Force airplanes, NATO's, everybody.
Well, I'll tell you something. We are so proud of the 916th. You guys have such a history. You're all heroes. I think books have been written about the 916th, and you guys do such a wonderful job. How often do the planes fly here? How long do you stay up?
Here, we fly every day. We fly 5 or 6 sorties a day. And average about 4 hours per each sortie, so we fly about 30 hours a day. Deployed, we can fly 50 hours a day, depending on where we are. So the amount of fuel varies from 1,000 pounds to 1,000,000 pounds. Just depends on where we're at.
Now everybody has their own idea of the way things are, so what would be, in your opinion, a misconception about the 916? Or perhaps even a misconception about tankers in general, as far as the public is concerned?
Misconception. We're a reserve outfit, right? We're out there all the time. They think we're active duty, and we're not. Our citizen airmen, work in the local community. They're airline pilots, they're nurses, doctors, there's lawyers, civil engineering folks, and plumbers, home builders. So we cover the whole gamut. So we are truly citizen airmen. And I think a lot of folks that see us all the time think we're active duty, and we're not. We do this basically on 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, and then deployments. But it's not quite that simple.
Not quite that simple. But when the call comes, you go.
When the call comes, we're gone. Really quick.
What will be the average stay here for commanders? What, like 2 years?
About 2 years.
About 2 years. What do you plan? You plan on making any changes to the system here, or just?
I don't know. It seems to be running so far. But I've only been here 2 months, so I don't want to change anything yet. So.
Well, Colonel, good luck to you. I appreciate you speaking with us today on WGTV.
Thank you very much.
You, sir.
Appreciate it.
That's good.
I want to introduce myself. Chuck, we're here at the 916th Refueling Fighter Wing, and we are interviewing different people as they come along to tell us about the holiday cards they're sending to the heroes. Tell us about the official kickoff.
Well, this is our Holiday Mail for Heroes kickoff for 33 counties in eastern North Carolina. We're so proud to be able to have it here on Seymour Johnson. And what we've been doing across Wayne County and all our other eastern North Carolina counties is getting cards signed for our military heroes. It's just a real nice grassroots effort for people in the communities all over the United States, but right here in East North Carolina, say thank you for what you do. We recognize and appreciate the sacrifice and commitment you make for us. And we just had this is our kickoff event, and we've been getting cards signed for several days, and just been a great
started
time.
off today with 1,500 cards before the kickoff really even began.
And it's so fun when we do this event. We always run out of cards. People are wanting to do more and more and more, and you saw it today. People just had a great time saying thank you to these people that do so much for us.
Well, we support our troops all year long, but of course during the holidays is one of the toughest times to be away from your family. So How important is it to the military airmen to be across the sea and to receive a card from somebody in their community?
They do not even know. They're saying thank you for what you do. We had a meeting, and one of the individuals in the meeting said, let me tell you, in 2003, I was away from my family during Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter. And during that time, I got so many cards.
Yes, it is.
I still have them to this day. So it's just a nice way for people in Eastern North Carolina to say thank you. So I encourage you to find an event, sign a card for one of our heroes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
Guess what? We're back. That's exactly right. I love that out at the base.
That's right. It's the kickoff of the whole region.
I know. Signing those cards and everything. That's a great. That's just a great effort.
And you know, it says a lot about our community for Chuck, the director of the Wayne County chapter of American Red Cross, for him to be able to show up before the kickoff began with 1,500 cards in his hand.
I know.
That says a lot.
Just amazing.
We've got a great community and great people in it.
That indeed we do. Well, a little fairy brought some information to me about, we were talking about S. Epitha Murkison. Her name is Murkison. I don't know why it just didn't look right on paper. But the story about her name, there's quite a story about her, but the story about her name, she's often, it says here, reticent about revealing what her first name really is. Her first name is really Sharon.
And she just didn't like it?
She did not like Sharon. On June 11th, 2005 episode of NPR's Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. That's, okay, anyway. She jokingly claimed that that her initial S stands for sweet, because so many people have difficulty with Epatha, which is what she prefers to be called, she said. She has legally now changed her first name to S.
The letter S.
The letter S. In fact, there's a period there, S period. During a segment on the January 31st, 2012 episode of The Wendy Williams Show, when questioned about the origin of her name, she shared that Epatha was the name of a grade school teacher who was influential in keeping her father in school.
Interesting.
She further went on to clarify that she prefers to be addressed as Epatha as opposed to S. Epatha. Epatha. Whatever. Anyway, she graduated from Cooley High School in 1970. She earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from Wayne State University.
You
Love
like
the
that,
name.
don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. I can just call you W.
Sure. Would you? W? Yeah.
W.
And began her New York theater career in 1978. She was conferred an honorary Doctor of Humane Letters from Wayne State University in 2009.
Who is she?
She plays a police lieutenant on I think it's Law and Order.
That's the one you were saying. It's on one of the law shows.
One of those shows, and I won't get into that, but
we'll have to research it
She's
to see who S is.
Very talented lady, but she's not the first to have done that. Well, she's not the first.
A lot of people drop their last name and just like Cher.
Yeah.
Or Madonna.
Yeah, but she's not the first person to use that particular letter in her name. Harry S. Truman.
True.
Did not have a middle name because his mother and his father couldn't agree on a middle name.
Oh.
But her maiden name and the name his father wanted to use both started with S. So it's Harry S. No period. Truman. His middle name is S without the period.
Well, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, how do you know that fact?
I don't know.
You just know.
I just made it up.
Yeah.
No.
Who knows if it's true?
It is true. It is true.
But we've given them something to go research today.
Yeah, hey.
See if it's true.
Look, don't take my word for anything.
Right.
I've always said, don't take anybody's word for anything. If you question anything at all, and you should, look it up. Look it up yourself. We have a whole library full of stuff to verify.
Facts.
Sure, and facts. And not necessarily textbooks either.
That's right.
And I won't even go there, but do a little research.
That's right. Well, let's talk about some of the things that are happening in our community.
Hey,
Wayne.
let's do that.
Don't forget, December the 1st, let's go out to the Boys and Girls Club and support them with their annual pancake breakfast starting at 7 a.m.
I love it.
December the 1st.
That is great.
November the 30th, a turkey shoot. is available at the American Legion, out past the fairgrounds.
Highway 117 South.
That's exactly
As you're going
right.
down the hill past the cemetery on the left, just past the fairgrounds, you do a turnaround and there it is. Turkey
That's
shoot.
exactly
American
right.
Legion hut. Oh boy.
That's right. Let's see. Can you tell us about some holiday traditions?
Yes. Sure I
think you
can.
can?
I'd be happy to.
Well, when
They
he
were here a
finds it-
moment ago. Oh, I want to tell you about, here's an idea.
Okay.
If you or your family has a special holiday tradition, we'd like to know about it so we can
Yes,
share
we
it.
would.
In fact, it may give someone an idea to where they're just sitting at home and they don't know what to do, they're kind of down and depressed. Your tradition may inspire someone to start a
one.
tradition.
That's right, exactly right.
And that way you would be helping someone enjoy the holidays.
That's right. Well, I've told you about 2 or 3 of my traditions, and now we want to hear about yours.
That's right. So if you bake, if you make a unique ornament for this time of year, or if you do something special with children, then whatever your tradition is, we'd like to hear about it.
That's right. My children still think that they are supposed to go over to their Meemaw's house, which is my mother's house, before Christmas Day and make Christmas cookies together, just them, my 2 children, and their Meemaw. And it's just your basic sugar cookies that they decorate, you know, they put, oh my goodness, I can't talk, frosting, and then they decorate it with Christmas colors. But they think it's not Christmas if they have not done that with her. And of course, she's always got a pot of soup on the stove.
Oh, of course.
Good old homemade vegetable soup.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not the holidays if we haven't done that little simple tradition. And then we eat those cookies within the next 2 or 3 days, of course.
No, that's nice. And regardless of age, why not start your own tradition?
Why not?
Why not?
That's right.
All right, coming up on tomorrow's program, here's what we have for tomorrow. We have on Thursday the 29th, Tim Harper is going to be with us. Tim's a friend of mine. I've known him for many years. He is a big scout.
Oh,
he
yes.
is the executive scout for the Boy Scouts
He
of
sure
America
is.
Tuscarora Council here in Goldsboro and Wayne County, and he will be with us. Also, we'll have a report from Crime Stoppers, right?
That's right. Paige Lerner will be back.
And also, we'll have a discussion about the Air Force Museum.
Oh, yes. We talked with several of the team members that were brought into Wayne County and the city of Goldsboro, and they're the ones that have presented the information and the facts to the city council, and they'll be sharing that with you. So stay tuned on tomorrow's show.
7 o'clock tomorrow morning, we'll be right here. I hope you're right there. Join us again at that time. Until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.